All right, everyone, welcome back to Anton's class. If you're new here, my name's Anton, and I'm all about wellness and discovering more freedom through travel and life abroad on a budget. So if that interests you, I would love to have you back. And if you're returning, thank you so much for returning to Anton's class. Today's episode is not going to be super exciting, super thrilling, but it is going to be very useful and practical. All right, so keep that in mind. I'm drinking some Jasmine Green Tea. It's hot here in the Northern Hemisphere. It's summer, and it's Phoenix, Arizona, which is known as America's hottest city, okay? And don't get cheap Jasmine Green Tea. Get premium Japanese Jasmine Green Tea, okay? So note to self, Anton, don't get that cheap stuff. Sometimes it's all right to go on a budget, but not all the time. All right, so today's episode is about visas, about Namibia. So I get tons of emails from you guys, which I do appreciate. And one of the main things you guys want to know is, how do you stay in Namibia? And so we're going to be talking about that, all right? As an American citizen, this is going to be from my perspective, all right? Because, of course, it depends on your passport, all right? And unfortunately, many people have difficulty traveling because they have weaker passports, as they call it, right? But as U.S. citizens, we are very blessed because we have the ability to travel the world and to go to many countries visa-free. So, unfortunately, out on the web, you're going to see a lot of false information, okay, that says, oh, as a U.S. citizen, you require a visa to enter into the country of Namibia. I'm here to tell you that that is false, okay? As American citizens, we do not, I repeat, we do not need a visa to enter Namibia, okay? Namibia is a visa-free country for U.S. citizens if you're staying for up to 90 days, all right? So if you're staying 1 week, 2 weeks, 2 months, all the way up to 3 months, you could stay visa-free. What does that mean? That means you don't have to do anything. You just have to show up at the airport with your passport. You buy your ticket and you get to the Namibian airport, right? And you show them your passport. They will ask you, what are you doing here? How long do you intend to stay? And then they'll stamp your passport accordingly. So for me, when I first arrived, I was intending to move there. But of course, I said I'm here on tourism. And they said, how long? And I think if I remember correctly, I said 60 days. And the lady was like, there's not enough in Namibia for tourism for 60 days. And then she started speaking to the lady next to her, like, in a different language, I believe Bombo or Shabambo. And, saying, oh, this is ridiculous. Basically, I'm assuming she could have been saying something completely different. But anyways, the point is, they were trying to lord over me the fact that they could have rejected me, but they didn't, okay? And they usually don't. So they stamped me, and I think she gave me less than 60 days. She gave me like 40 days, which meant I had to go to Home Affairs, which we'll get into, all right? Because I was staying more than 40 days, of course. So Nigerians and other countries, you have to apply for a visa, but let me speak about Nigerians in particular right now because many of my viewers are from Nigeria. And they ask me often, you mentioned, Anton, that your friend was Nigerian. Can I come to Namibia? Yes, you can certainly enter Namibia as a Nigerian or some other African nationality. However, you do need to check, okay? Nigerians in particular do need a visa before they purchase their plane ticket, before they arrive in Namibia, okay? Otherwise, you won't even be allowed to board the plane, most likely. So you need to have a study visa or a work visa, or perhaps you have family members that are already there and they're going to help you get a visa. But you do need to apply for a visa in Nigeria, okay, or whatever country you're coming from, all right? I believe Tanzania has a Namibian consulate or embassy. Kenya, maybe. Unfortunately, every country does not. But you would have to send your passport in that case to the nearest country. So if you're in Rwanda, for example, you would have to send your passport to Tanzania in order to get the clearance and the visa required to enter the country, okay? But again, as U.S. citizens, we're blessed. We do not require a visa to enter into Namibia if you're staying for under 90 days. However, if you decide you want to stay for over 90 days, go ahead and enter the country visa free, and then you go to Home Affairs. All right, so this is going to be chapter 2. So if you're staying for over 90 days, as I did, of course, I had to go to Home Affairs. She only stamped me for 40 days, remember? So at around the 40-day mark, I had to make my butt down to Home Affairs. Back then, it was downtown, and it was in an older building, and there was this long line and very rude security guards. Y'all, you know, I hear that that's commonplace in Africa, rude security guards. You know what I mean? It's kind of probably common all over the world, to be honest, but don't expect superior customer service in Namibia. It is far superior probably to other countries in the continent of Africa, but it's definitely not what you would expect in the West, and that's okay. All right, I'm not saying for you to go to Africa and expect customer service. That's an American cultural phenomena, all right, in my opinion. But that is a business opportunity, as many people say, to bring that superior customer service to businesses or what have you on the continent. So anyways, the new Home Affairs office, by the way, I'm wearing my Namibian flag, little necklace that I got. Anyways, the Home Affairs office in Namibia in Windhoek is new. It's a brand new building, state of the art. I have not been in that building. They were just finishing it up when I left Namibia. So now, if you're in Namibia or if you choose to go, you will be going to the new Home Affairs office. And before, they had 2 lines, all right? I'm not sure of the process now, but it might be the same or similar. They had 2 lines. If you were just going to extend your stay as a tourist, right? You have to pay, I believe it was like something like close to $50, and you waited in the short line. The line that only had like 5 people. Then there's a very, 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 very long line that curves all the way down the street, like for a block or more, okay? And that's the line you do not have to wait in. That was for people who were extending their work visas, their residence permits, and things of that nature. One day, you may have to wait in that line, okay? And at the time, it was outdoors, but with the new Home Affairs building, which is huge and, like I said, brand new and state-of-the-art, most likely you'd be waiting indoors. They probably have seating and AC and all that stuff. All right. So that's a really good thing. So again, as a U.S. citizen and probably European Union, you arrive in Namibia visa free. You don't need to worry about that. It does suck, and it is unfortunate that Africans from the continent have to go through all the rigmarole before entering the country. All right. And like I said, that's an unfortunate thing. I know Wodamaya and a lot of other African YouTubers and travelers often comment on that. Okay. So now we're going to move on, and we're going to start talking about temporary residence permits. Okay. So this is chapter 3. Chapter 3. I hope you guys are still in there, and I hope this practical information is useful to you. Let me take a sip. All right. So chapter 3. We're going to talk about the temporary residence permits, and in Namibia, they really mention 2, which is the study permit and the work permit, okay? So if you're coming on a study permit, as you know, of course, you need your passport, obviously. You need your official letter with the seal from the institution that accepted you, okay? You're going to certainly need a police report from your country, all right? It's like a background check. You're going to need that before you enter Namibia. On a study permit, on the study visa. Okay, you're also going to need the radiological report, all right, which those are pretty hassle-free to get from a doctor or a clinic in your home country. And you're going to need anything else? Those are the main things that I wanted to mention. All right, there is a whole list of things, but those are the primary things that you're going to want to need. You're also going to need proof of funds, of course, for staying in the country. And if you know someone in the country, then they would like to know that person's address, phone number, and things of that nature, okay? So for people who are interested, that is one way to stay in Namibia, is through a study permit, okay? The other way, like I said, these are temporary residence permits, is through a work permit. So, of course, you would still need the same things, the radiological report, the medical report. The thing that's different is instead of an acceptance letter from the institution, like the school that you're going to, you would, of course, need proof that you've been hired by a company in Namibia. All right. So that's about it for that part. that is, they don't have very many opportunities or different ways for temporary residence permits for Namibia. Okay, so we're looking at the student permit as well as the business, or not the business permit, I'm sorry, the job work permit. All right, the work visa. Okay, so those are the two temporary residence permits that would get you access into Namibia. Okay, now I also want to talk about, this is what, chapter 4. This is residency. Okay, this is the fourth option for getting into Namibia and staying there long term. All right, residency is not citizenship. Okay, so I personally had some confusion around that, and I know others do as well. Residency is like maybe permanent residency, but it's not citizenship. Okay, so I want to distinguish between the two. Okay, so one way to gain residency into Namibia is through investment. All right, so this is for the people who have hundreds of thousands of dollars at their disposal and are looking for a way to invest, and are maybe looking to retire and are wanting to move abroad or relocate abroad somewhere in Africa, and they want to invest. Okay, Africa right now is a fantastic place to invest. Africa is the future, as they say, and it is really the present. Let's be real. Okay, so Namibia is touted to be one of the safer places to invest on the continent of Africa. Okay, so if you're interested, you can invest in Namibia. The minimum investment is 265,000 USD, all right, in a new or existing Namibian company. And you could also invest in a real estate company, okay? And those are your options. Remember, it's 265K minimum, and that would get you residency into Namibia, okay? That's not citizenship, okay? It's residency. And that allows you to stay in the country for up to 5 years. All right. And it also allows you to apply for a work permit as well if you're going to be in the country for that long. Okay. So moving on to chapter number 5. All right. So this one is really the last one, okay, that we're going to talk about today. And this is a popular one. This is the spouse permit. Okay. So if you are married to a Namibian citizen, then you are allowed to enter the country, and you're allowed to stay in the country for up to 10 years. But you have to be in the country for 10 years in order to then apply for citizenship. Okay, so just because you marry a Namibian citizen does not automatically make you a Namibian citizen. You have to then live in the country, all right, and you have to stay in the country for up to 10 years. And then after 10 years, you could apply for your citizenship. All right. Now, I know these don't seem like a whole lot of options, okay? And honestly, there weren't many options when it comes to your stay in Namibia, all right? For me personally, also there is the business visa, okay, which maybe we'll cover in another video. You can start a business in Namibia and register your business, and that could be your token into staying in Namibia, all right, on a business visa. But these were the primary ways for people to enter into Namibia and to stay in Namibia long term. All right. So you guys, this was a pretty short video. I hope it was useful to you. If you have any questions, just go ahead and email me antonsclass1@gmail.com, and I would happy to be in touch with you. I do offer coaching, okay, to help people and assist them in the process of relocation to Namibia. The reason I started charging, I used to do it completely for free, but honestly, it's because my time is limited and I have a lot of people, a lot of emails asking me many questions. And so, yeah, I do offer that service. Several people have purchased a coaching session, and it has been stupendous, and they really enjoyed it, and I enjoyed providing the service. All right, so if you're interested, again, email me antonsclass1@gmail.com, and I'll be in touch with you. Until next time, thank you for stopping by Anton's Class.